I just want to tell you that I love Sam and Max. They have great video games. I have the video games, a Max stuffed animal, and items. I even enjoy the cartoon of Sam and Max that was made in 1997. But it wasn't long until I found out there was a morbid secret to the cartoon. I was at a collector's shop where they had a section about Sam and Max. I was looking for some Sam and Max figurines. I bought 2 Sam and Max figurines, and just as I was about to leave the section, something caught my eye. It was a videotape called The Lost Sam and Max Cartoon. I really wanted to get it, so I told my mom that I wanted to buy it. And when I went to tell the counter worker that I would like to buy the tape, he said I couldn't have it. He told me that he watched it and had nightmares. I was surprised that he said that about the tape, because it was Sam and Max. How can a cartoon about Sam and Max be scary? But he said, never mind, you're just going to have nightmares anyway, and gave me the tape. And while I was walking away, I saw him folding his hands like he's praying. I was starting to feel like there was something wrong with the tape. When I got home, I immediately went downstairs to watch this mysterious video. When the video went on, something weird happened in the beginning. It sounds like screams of someone in agony. I was scared until the opening theme song was on. It was like usual. The episode was called Max. Then the episode played and something was wrong. It was totally different than the original style. It looked similar to the original, but it looked darker. Then the episode showed Sam and Max in their original design. They had voice actors that sounded like Harvey Atkin and Rob Tinkler. They were talking about some kind of a CD they found outside and talking about listening to it. So then the scene showed Max putting the headphones on until it happened. Max all of a sudden just looked like he had just blacked out. Then Sam said, "Max, are you alright?" Then the screen zoomed up to Max, who had started drooling. And all of a sudden Max's eyes turned into an LSD acid trip with weird colors. After 10 seconds of Max's acid tripping face, something appeared. I grabbed a clicker and went backwards to see what it was. What I saw was a morbid, grotesque picture. It was a picture of a puppet. The scary part of the picture was that in the background, flames and some people getting tortured in a sick way were in the background behind the fire flames of hell, as it looked like it took place in a fireplace from somebody's house. The puppet had an insane smile. I had to choke back some vomit after watching it. Then the screen went back to Max's face. "Are you alright?" asked Sam. Seeing is not believing. Seeing is killing. Max soon got back conscious and said yes. "Yes, I am." "What time is it, Sam?" "It's 1:13, said Sam. Then the screen went black and blood started to rain down. But this blood was hyper-realistic. It looked so real that, if I touched the screen, I would get blood on my fingers. The blood rain soon disappeared and the screen showed Sam and Max walking to a lake. A crowd of fans soon started chasing the duo for 30 seconds like normal. All of a sudden, a picture of a girl with no eyes appeared. Her eye sockets were dripping blood. She had no teeth and more blood was pouring out of her mouth. It was another picture of a Zalgo victim that was popular on Creepypasta. I jumped back on the couch after seeing it. Then the screen went to Max's face. And all of a sudden, the screaming of the fans stopped. And when the main duo turned around to check, all of the fans were on the ground, burned to a crisp. Then the scene showed Sam vomiting out red vomit with chunks of brown meat. Something caught my eye. I paused and looked closely at the vomit, and there was the face of Hitler. I was shocked that a man who killed millions of people and soldiers was in the cartoon about Sam and Max. "Just forget about," said Max. "But what about our fans?" Sam said. "I don't give up!" I was shocked that this episode involves Max saying the F word, but I decided to continue. The next scene showed a building that was about to be demolished. Sam and Max were walking down the hallway when the wrecking ball hit the building. A piece of rubble went flying in the air. It was about to miss a person when Max did the unthinkable. He pushed the man back to where the piece of rubble was about to fall. In a second, the piece of solid marble crushed the guy to death. Realistic blood and brain matter went everywhere. The blood and brain matter looked like it was real. A crowd of people surrounded the scene where the camera zooms up to Max with an evil smirk on his face. The next scene only showed just a black screen. Only thing I heard was a gunshot. Then there was smoke that seems to represent the fired gun. The next scene showed Sam knocking on Max's room door. Then Sam, for some reason, busted down the door and there was a humongous safe that was the size of an SUV. He didn't know what the combination was, but for some reason wasn't locked up all the way. He opened it up and found out Max's secret. He was a Satanist. There was a pentagram with blood. There were dead animals, a fan-made Necronomicon, and gold skull on a pentagram. In fear, Sam fell to the ground. The screen went black. Then the screen showed the view of the sun setting from Max's legs. The screen immediately went to Max's face that had a mad expression and a rapid moving mouth. He had red in his iris. He had a noose around his neck. He was about to commit suicide. He shut his eyes and jumped. The camera showed Max's feet still swinging. The camera zoomed out to show Max's lifeless body hanging on the small cliff on the lake that Sam and Max were going to in the beginning of the episode. The screen went black. The next scene shows Sam on a cliff from the same lake Max committed suicide. He was about to commit suicide too. I thought he was going to jump off the cliff, but instead he pulled out a gun and shot himself. It scared me a little bit. It sent chills down my spine. At the end of the episode, it appears to be in a dark hall. All I hear was screams, whistles, yelling, and gunshots. I soon found out that the hall was in a prison. The scary part was that every time the lamp swings in the hall, a black hooded figure appeared. It wasn't long until I found out it was Max with gray skin and red iris. He said, "I hope you enjoyed your life, because my life is already over, including my friend, all because of me, Max." And right behind him was a crowd of guards and prisoners. It seemed that some of them had bullet holes in their heads, blood and burnt tissues all over their bodies. For 30 seconds, evil Max and the crowd of prisoners and guards started walking straight, like if they were walking towards me. The more they keep walking, the more blood they get on themselves. Max started to turn into a snake in a weird way. His eyes turned reptilian, his skin turned scaly, and his tongue was in the form of a snake's tongue. Then the episode finally ended. I went backwards and kept rewinding the opening credits to believe how stupid I was to believe this was a nice episode. It wasn't long until something caught my eye. I looked closely at the bottom of the word Max, and I paused to see that the episode was actually called Max is Dead. I was about to take the tape out until the VCR went on fire. I immediately got my mom and a fire extinguisher. We put out the fire and discovered that the VCR was still okay because we put in more Disney cassette tapes in and they worked. But the only thing that was destroyed by the fire was the tape, and it was the tape that started the fire. My mom and I went to the collector's shop and brought the tape back. The counter worker then said, "What happened to the tape?" "It was set on fire when the tape ended," I said. He took the tape and threw it away. The next day, I was in the car with my mom to take something back that my dad forgot to take to work when we saw police surrounding a house and 6 men were being retrieved out of the house. My mom was told by an officer that 6 men were arrested for drug possession and grave robbery. It wasn't long until stuff came out of the house, and that stuff was the things people use for recordings for cartoons. They even found drawings of what they say is a morbid cartoon. It involves Sam and Max. The police were informed that they sold the tape to a collector's shop. I told the police I got the tape, and they showed me the drawings to see if I was right. I got all of them right. After telling them about the tape, they gave me an award of $200. I was glad that I got money, but the sight of seeing the tape scared half to death. For 4 days I had nightmares, and when the nightmares stopped, a tape appeared on my front porch, and it said, "You shouldn't have watched that, but I threw it away in the trash and never seen that thing again." But I wonder why the tape said that. All I can say is, goodbye and see you later.